television.
All right, do we have any questions about what we've done so far? Anybody? Any questions so far about what we've done?
Large, comfortable beds.
I need help.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get together, just not today. Hopefully I can get with you tomorrow and get you started on how to get this done.
Sounds good to me.
All right, but stay on because you're still gonna need some of this stuff, okay?
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Anybody else? If you have a TV or something playing in the background, it's coming across on my training. So if you could mute that or mute yourself if you don't have a question, that way it doesn't bleed through. Thank you.
Gotcha.
All right. Anybody else got a question? Now, like I said, I want to make sure that you're pulling up your own document and you've got your links done or your links populated that you want to use. Because we are, like I said, this is going to be an interchangeable, and if you're ready, if not, just follow along. It will be recorded for us to go through. So again, I already have my links pulled out, and we're going to do the same thing for food and wine. Again, I just have a title here. I have my links, so I'm going to come back here and do the same thing. Drop down, and I'm going to put my headlines. And just create more headlines based on my links that I have already populated. So okay.
Hey, Sheila.
Uh-huh.
When you're getting these links, you're getting those from your accounts, right?
Yeah, like these right here are coming straight from my website. These are pages that I've created. So that's where your links come from, are your pages, which you want to do because you want to generate that traffic, especially if you want to get Google AdSense. And I highly suggest everybody that's your goal, because you want Google to come in and advertise on your page, because number one, they pay you to do that. It's a revenue that's generated by people that visit your site. And it's always the ads that come on Google is usually what people have been searching for. Google has bots that come in, they can read their internet searches, and they populate their ads based on what that computer has been searching for. So every computer is going to be different. So just because you set it up, and I always allow Google to choose the ads for me. I don't pick the ads, I let Google do that, because then that way I know that when that computer pulls up and they go to my website, those ads are going to be geared towards that person's preferences based on their searches. So if they've been searching for ways, clothing, or if they've been searching for insurance, or they've been searching for business practices, or whatever they've been prevalent to search for, that's what my Google ads are going to show for that computer. And it'll be different for every person that searches. And that way I know that my Google ads are going to be seen. And if they just click off of it, because it's just like a pop-up, if they click off of it, that's still a click for me. But if they click it and shop, that's another revenue. So I get a click for them actually going there, plus I get a click from the revenue of them shopping. So that's why you want that Google to advertise. Also, by you having Google AdSense, you getting that click traffic coming to your website, you move quicker through the Google ranks, because then you are a recognized site that Google is approved of. So you get recognized a lot faster. So that's why you want them to come to your website instead of going to your direct offer. This is for those that do just link posting only. They don't have a website. They do the direct offer. Now, the thing about doing direct offer, you still get paid. However, you are
Okay.
not searchable on Google. So they can't go on Google and say, find me whatever, and your website pulls up because you don't have a website. You can only do link posting on your free ads in your social media. Google does not pick up link posting. So that's why you want to make sure that when you are doing your ads that you are sending them directly to your website, because you want that recognition.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're very welcome. Okay, so we got 4 headlines, so let's do some more. Okay, and I have another site I'm going to add to this because I am putting easy meals in. So let's go back here and grab my quick and easy meals. There we go. And I'm just going to add this link up here. So there's that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there we go. Got 5 headlines. You can always add more. I just say minimum of 5 because that way you have an ad for every day. And then you can just do your description. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do at least 2. All right. So what I want y'all to do, I need about 10 minutes, is I want you to work on your links and work on your description and your headlines, and I will be right back. So when I come back, I'm going to ask some of you to read some of your options and see what we have. You might be giving somebody else an idea for them to use, okay? All right, so how we doing? You got your templates ready? Anybody who wants to be the first to tell me some of their titles? Anybody? Hello?
Nobody is stepping up.
I see that. Did I
How about
put
red, white, blush? How about red, white, blush? We have them here.
there you go. And what kind of what's your headline? That's your headline?
Yeah, that's the headline.
Okay. And what kind of description you got?
I think I didn't get a good description.
Okay. So based on that, I'm assuming you're going to be doing makeup.
No, that's our wines.
Your wine. Okay, cool. All
Yeah,
right. So
red, white, blush. Give a gift with Napa Valley or Sonoma wines.
gotcha.
Have them shipped directly to your home
Okay.
from
Eh,
your own private wine club. Join today.
there you go. That's simple, sweet, and that's all you need to do. And what I would suggest is just make play on words with that same one, or if you have another one, do the same thing. And have your headlines work along with what you just said. So yeah, that's all you need to do for your headlines. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else?
So you do more descriptions for this? You could do
Yes.
more descriptions than that?
Yep. You want to have at least 3 descriptions. If you can
Okay.
only think of 2, I promise you by the time you do the first set, you'll think of something else. Oh, I could have worded that different. And if that's the case, don't change the one that you have, add another one. Because it'll happen. You'll be thinking as you're making that, and you'll be like, oh, I could have said it this way. I could have said it that way. When that happens, just create another description based on what your new thought process is. Don't change the one you have. That just gives you more information to use, gives you another description to add to your headlines.
Okay.
Same thing with your headlines. If you're writing it, you say, oh, that'd be a good headline. That'd be something I would search for. Add the same thing, play on words with the ones you already have and create new headlines. Same way with your description. After you look at it, especially the first couple of times, you could have said, you'll be looking, oh, I could have said that different. I need to add this in there. Don't change your current description, just create a new one. And then that way you have more ammunition, more links, not links, but more descriptions to add for your template. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Anybody else want to indulge or gift us with your ideas? No?
I'm just listening. I haven't gotten that far.
All right. Okay, good. So like I said, I'm just going to go through a few of the ones that we have. And this is just, I always put a topic of what my links is about. So this one, I know that all the links that go under here that I add now or later is always going to be related to work from home business opportunities. Just like with this one, is always going to be food and wine. So let me bold that, make that a little bit bigger. So I know that that's my topic. Same thing with this one is always going to be tipping circle and free TV. So my links are always going to be related to what my base topic is. And then my headlines and my description is going to be based on the links that I provide. And they're always going to be interchangeable because you're going to be typing because your links are related basically. So that's how you want to go and create your template. When I first started, I didn't organize them. So I have topics and links and things all over the place. So again, I'm going to do another one. So this one I have for weight loss and wine business. I haven't done one for tipping circle yet. For the business aspect of it or the fundraising, I actually have one in draft that I'll be doing and promoting that. Starting next week, I'm going to be using my students or any student that sends me says, hey, I'm having trouble with this particular page. Can you help me out? Or if you divulge at the end of the class, hey, can you do this page? I will be using students' pages to use for training because mine, I'm just adding stuff to mine now. So that way you can see based on your own pages how to go and do stuff. So we'll be doing that starting next week. I already have a few volunteers that said, yes, use my website. My students has graciously volunteered their websites for me to use. So I'll be starting that next week on how to go in and modify pages and things like that. So we'll always, because we always have new people coming in, and I want to make sure that everybody has that opportunity to see how their page can be done paragraph by paragraph or page by page. Okay. So my next one we're going to do is our work from home business opportunities. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do my headline. Okay. And this one is going to be
Oh, Sheila,
uh-huh.
when you have a template and you have the description, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the link that you want them to click on, is that it? Should you put that in there or at the end of your description?
You don't put it at your description when you're making your template. That's why you have your links at the beginning. So when you actually go to post your links or go to post your ads, that's when you include your link. And the reason I say you don't put it in your actual description is because you're going to have multiple links that you can use with that one description. So you don't want, that's why I say from the very beginning, after you choose your topic, then you choose all the links that you have from your website that can go with that topic. Then your headlines and your descriptions will be based on the commonality of those topics or your links. So this one's all going to be work from home opportunities. So all of my links that I have here is going to be based on pages I've written that gives them that opportunity, like your wine pages, your weight loss coffee, or your Valentis pages, your tipping circle pages, anything that they can generate income from. Your blogging with Rory page, you know, how to get your own website page, things like that. It's going to go up under here. Just by me talking, I know I have several other pages I can put through here. Excuse me. So I'm actually going to be, and just by this one, I actually have a page on how to, you know, make your hobbies or turn your hobbies into a blog page. And here's another one. Excuse me. All right, so here are two pages that I know I have that relates to how they can use wine to make money, or wine clubs, how they can use weight loss products to turn it into a business. I also have another one, so I'm going to look for here. What is it? Website. So I'm going to pull up all my pages that are related to website. So this one, Achieve Your Dreams. So I'm just going to come here and click on edit. Like I said, this is very slow. Come on. And once I do that and I pull it up, I'm just going to come over here to where on your right hand side of your page where it says view page and just copy this link. And I'm going to come back to my Google Doc and I'm going to paste this link in here because this is another one that relates to using your website. I'm going to come back here, hit my back button, go back to my search. Here's another one that I have, creating an internet website business. I'm going to do the same thing with that one, and copy this link, bring it back to my doc and paste that link in there. And then I'm going to go again. And there's one more. We go, ways to make money online. We're going to get that one. Copy. Paste that. Then I have another one, how to edit. There's that one. I didn't see that one in there. There we go. How to edit. Here's another one. And I'm going to copy this link and put it in here. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 website or 6 links to my website that goes with working a home-based business. And each one of these headlines can work with each one of these. And I can actually even, if I want to centralize it or make it more specific to a headline, I can make it more specific to a particular link. Okay. All right, so there's several different links right there, and they're all pertaining to this. So these ones, or these can be a little bit more specific, like the wine business, you know, you're going to put that to the wine. How to use your website to make money can go with any of these because they're all talking about a website. How to make money and lose weight. You want to, you know, that's going specifically to your Valentis pages that you have. And you can put any of these in there. It doesn't matter if the title is ways to make money. If you've referenced to use that particular product or that particular link or company that can generate money or has a way to make money, you can use that link here. And then the same thing, we're going to do our description. And again, you want to make sure that your description is going to encompass as many of your links as possible. Okay, and then this one is just generic to any of them. I can put any of those links there with this one. It says, here's a great way to generate money with the home-based business. Here's one that shows you how. So that could be any of them. And that's one. And the good thing about using it is this is a trending topic, coronavirus. So if you're using this as an advertising, if somebody's searching on the internet and they're looking and for anything that has related to coronavirus, the fact that you've used this in an ad, yours could pop up. That doesn't mean it could pop up in the, you know, the top 10 searches, but by you using the word corona or any trending topic in your description allows your ad to pop up on Google. If you're using your website, now if you're using a link post, it's not going to show up on Google. But if you're using your website for them to go and look at your website and read the material there, then your ad will show up on Google, and it will be linked to your website. So that's how you use trending topics if it's related to your subject. So you don't want to use coronavirus if it's not related to anything that you're talking about or affiliated with in any way of what you're actual trying to get across. So just to be careful with that. Don't just use a trending topic to get noticed to your website. It needs to be relevant to what you're writing. Okay. And I just put it right there by visiting my blog. That's point blank. And then when I go to actually advertise, I'll change this period to a colon and actually put the link that I want to. Same thing with any of these other ones. I'll change the period to a colon and put it, you know, something else. Okay. All right. So I like that better. All right. So there's 3 descriptions that can go with any of these programs. Some of them are a little bit more specific, but all of my pages allude that I use my website to market all of these programs. So even though this says learn how to use your website, follow the instructions, every one of these actually tells them, you know, that I'm using my website, how to use a link, follow it, you know, taking and blogging the cash with Rory. Some of them I actually have the Keystone video on there to show them, you know, hey, you want a website, use it here. You know, this one actually shows them, you know, how to learn how to make money on the website. It sends them to my blogging for cash with Rory. It also sends them the Keystone video. It sends them to the friends and family page. So there's several different options that they have. that they can go to when they see my pages. So that's the one thing about using your website, is that you want to make sure that it's relevant, that it does say what it says that you're alluding to in your description. You don't want to put anything false in there. So you don't want to promise them a dollar amount. You don't want to promise them that they can make money. You want to give them, hey, this is a way that you make money. This is a way to make money. This is a potential to make money. But don't ever say, hey, make X amount of dollars in so much time, because you don't know what other people can do. You don't know their sphere of influence. You don't know their work ethics. So you don't want to put yourself in a legal issue to where you're promising a dollar amount in a certain amount of time when it's not going to happen. Be realistic, but never promise a dollar amount. Always allude that this is a possibility, because you don't know what their work ethic is. So same thing with any page that you write. Never promise a dollar amount, for that simple fact. You don't know how they are. They might be somebody that's just coming in and they're like, okay, they said I can make X amount of dollars and not do anything. And you don't want that to happen. So these are our templates. And so I'm actually going to change my document. So there's the title of my document now. And since this is on my Google Drive, I can always share this with anybody. I'll just take my links out, and you can put your own links in there. So we can, let me go ahead and remove this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is actually go in and we're going to advertise these links. And I'm going to show you how to do the advertising for that. So let me go here, and I'm just going to open up another tab, and I'm going to go to my ad sites, and I'm going to go straight to classified ads. And classified ads, I've found out recently that if you are advertising a similar description or headline within a variety of locations that are close in spacing, they are not going to advertise that for you. They will not release it. They'll actually reject it. Just like this one, Beach Fun Romance. I've gotten 90 clicks on that since February. That's pretty good. That's in the United Kingdom. Even my Canadian wine pages, I'm still getting clicks on that already, which is great. This one in California, look, 198 hits. This one, Pets, in Boston, is getting 95. So I'm getting hits on my websites. Lose Weight, California. So this is one website that you can be general or be more specific. So once you get there, make sure you register for these, and I'll show you where to get that at the end of the class. So I'm just going to go up here and says post a free ad. Okay. And you're going to select your category. And this one is going to be, I don't want to do items for sale. So I'm going to do community.
Honey, I'm all done.
And then I'm going to select general entertainment. And then it's going to ask you for a city or a zip code. And because I don't know exactly where I wanted to do, I'm going to just choose, maybe I want to do a specific city. So, and I try to start with the larger cities first, because that's where you get the most contact. Or if you want to do research, if you have a specific category you want to, or topic you want to relate to, you can actually do research and say which state sells the most clothes, which company or which city or state has the most pet products being sold. Whoever is talking in the background, could you mute yourself, please, so I don't have to mute everybody? Thank you. So you can actually do who has the most wine sales per capita, what state or what country, now that we have the ability to go to other countries shortly. In Tipping Circle, who searches for the most free TV. So, you know, just things like that. So this one, I'm going to go to, let's do Detroit, Michigan, and then it pulls up. And then I'm just going to fill out, I'm going to pull up my template. and get my headline. And I'm going to copy it, come back here, add title, right there. Asking price is free. This one you always have to put an asking price. And then your description is right here. So then we're going to come here. And you just choose which one you want. And I'm going to put right here, since I had free TV, I'm going to come right here and do this one right here. Put copy, go back to my ad. And this one you have to use your Control V to paste. And again, I'm just going to go back to my template and I'm going to copy my link, come back to my ad and paste. Control V. So there's my link. And then at the very bottom, it's going to ask you to fill out your name. So you have to choose a name. Phone number, you don't have to put one, but I always use my Google Voice account. Not that one. Okay, and you don't want to do autofill here. If you have your computer set up to do autofill when it recognizes your information, don't do it. And the reason being is as soon as you do that autofill, it changes your advertising place to your home address. You don't want to do that. So you want to key in everything manually so this doesn't change. If you do your autocorrect when it gets here to your name and it automatically fills all the information, then your ad's going to go to your address state or wherever your address is. So don't do autocorrect or autofill, excuse me. Manually type in your information. You don't need to put your zip code in because you already put in the city or the state that you want it to go in. Your expiration date, this one is 6 months. Do not change that. If you change it to more than 6 months, you will incur a fee. The 6 month is your free program that you have with the classified ads. So do not change it. I've had some people come in and say, I want it for a year, I want it for 2 years. They will charge you for that. Your 6 months is your free program. They will notify you about 3 weeks prior to your ad expiring that your ad's expiring. And then you have the option to update it for another 3 months for free. And they will continue to do that every time it gets close to being expired. So don't change this unless you want to pay for extra amounts. And then just put in the code that they have. Always put in the code they supply. Okay. And then you can choose your images. And these are images that you have stored in your file. So make sure you have a file that you want your images to come from. You can't pull images out of your media library from your website. These have to be images that you have in a file stored. So since I know I'm doing my free TV, I am going to find my free TV. And I got to come in here and restructure this so that I actually know where everything's at, so I'm not searching for it all the time. So I'm going to do, I have several free TV ads. So I'm going to do that one. And it's going to upload. This one you can upload to 5 images. And I'm going to choose another one. And all the images do not have to be related to your ad. You just want them to be. Okay, there's another one.
You should have one of your little cartoon characters watching TV.
And I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I know there's one somewhere. I just don't know where. I gotta find it because I remember Wile E. Coyote has one where the two kids are watching him and the Roadrunner, and they're sitting in front of the TV, but I can't find a still of that. So I'm still looking for it. It's out there. I know it has. So, but yeah, you know me. And then usually what I do is I might put something else in there, like this one I might put because it's time for travel, even though we can't travel right now. And then I might put another one in there for my something else. Let's see what I want to put in there as soon as this uploads. And I'm sorry for the slowness of the program. Okay, and then let's do one more. And if it gives you 5, says you can do 5, put as many in there as you can. Do all 5, because what happens is it rotates out. So you want to make sure that you have the ability to rotate those images out based on where they're going to be advertising. We'll do this one, my germophobia. Okay.
Sheila, when you say rotating out, you mean they choose which one
Yes.
is going to go with the ad?
Yeah, based on the images that you've uploaded. So that's why you want to make sure that when you come in or when you add your images, that your images relate, or that it's something that you want related to your ad, because they will rotate them out. Some of them, if they have the capability, they will use all the ads or all the images that you provide. But if it's a smaller company that picks up your ad from this company, because they parent out their ads that's on there, they might not have the capability of showing all 5 of your images. So they'll choose the one that fits their format.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that's why you want to make sure all your images fits what you want, or is it something you want? That's why most of the time when I'm doing images, it's a meme I've created that has another link, or at least somewhere where they can see my website on that page or on that image. So this is what my ad will look like. So here's my 5 images, and it says it's going to Detroit General Entertainment. Because it is for cable TV, it fits the category I'm putting it in. The other thing about a lot of these ads or these posting companies is that if it doesn't match the category that you're putting it in, they will kick it out. They'll reject it. So you don't want to put, a clothing company in entertainment. That has nothing to do with entertainment. You don't want to put your coffee in entertainment unless your description matches that it fits there. Like if you're using coffee to entertain a guest or doing a party and it's an after drink, or after dinner settlement, something like that, then it will fit. But you don't want to put it in there if you're promoting a business. You don't want to put it in entertainment. So always make sure that it fits the category that you're putting your ad in. So then that's my ad. That's all I did. There's how it's going to look. And then if they click this link, it takes them straight to my page. So I can click on the link to make sure it works. And there's my page right there, just the way I want it to be. And that's what I want them to see is my ad. So they can come here and click my ad and read what I wrote about the free TV. And everything is right there the way I want them to see it, and everything is available for them. Okay. All right. So now let's do another one. So since we did that one in Detroit, we can't use that same information. So then I'm going to come back here and post another ad. And this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I think I'm still going to stay in community. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to do community. And I think I'm going to do this one in, let's see. We can do it back in, no, I'm not. I'm going to go with this one and do, we can do items for sale. We'll do items for sale and do our subcategory. And this one, I'm going to put it in health and beauty. And again, I don't want to go back to Detroit, so I'm going to do somewhere else. So I'm going to do, this what I'm going to do is state of. Let's do, hold on, wait a minute. So Maryland, so state of. So here I can do the whole state. So I typed in Maryland, state of. All right, and then I'm going to go back to my template. And this one, I'm going to come down here to my business. And because I did health and fitness, we're going to do our weight loss. So I'm going to come down here and do this one. So I'm going to copy that, come back to my ad, post my paste price. Since I know how much this one's costing, I can actually put in that price. And I'm going to come back here and find the one right here. Talks about weight loss. Copy. Come here, Control V. Reading my blog at. Come back here and get my weight loss. Come back here, Control V. And then same thing, create a name, type in your number. If you want to, you don't have to. It will tell you the ones that are required. Like I said, don't use your autofill, your 6 months. Fill in your security and then choose your 5 images. And I have several about the weight loss. I'm going to choose this one. I know that one wasn't weight loss. That was something else, but that's okay. I can still use it. Okay, and then let's go and pick up the weight loss one. I picked up the wrong one. Here's one. Okay. My other one. This one. Okay, let's do another one. So that's 2. I got another one. Where's my hippos? Are they here? I don't think they're here. There they are.
Hi, Sheila.
Yes.
You you make this look so easy.
It just takes practice. Like I said, if you look at some of my, and I'll show you my first template I ever created. I still have it, and I still use it, and it looks horrible. And the new ones that I create now, I still go back to that first one because it had good ideas. It was just so disorganized and so terrible, but it still has my links, and I still, like I said, I still use it today. But I will show you what my first one looked like. It was not pretty, but I still use it. It was, it was not pretty. So, so the one thing that I noticed is I put this one there.
I know I'm going.
Huh? Go ahead.
I said, I'm going on almost a year, and I know I haven't really applied myself that much, but I think I've got to get this going.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, and we are, and I know your situation, trust me, there's some things that was not in your control so much. But a lot of things that are going on is that people, even though your website, when you get it, it is on Google, it's a template, so Google does not allow it to move. And a lot of people, they'll go in and they'll create pages and modify pages, but they're not doing the advertising. It's just like I told another student of mine, it's like you have an idea for a store, and you go out into the middle of nowhere and you build this beautiful, amazing store, and it's got everything that anybody wants, but guess what? Nobody knows it's there. So that's sort of like your website. You have this beautiful way of transporting all kind of goods and materials to people, but they don't know it's there. So you have to advertise. So, and I have one student, he didn't do any advertising until he got his whole page done. And it took him about a year. And he's like, I've made no money. I was like, well, where have you been advertising? Huh? And I've told him every time we talk, advertise that page, get it out there and advertise it. And he wasn't doing it because he was afraid somebody was going to click on something that wasn't his.
Even if it's just one page.
Yeah, even if it's one page, that doesn't mean, if it's one page and you've got it down and it's good and you like it and it's got your links in it, create that template and advertise that page. And then you can come back and continue working on your website. Just because you advertise a page doesn't mean, hey, I'm there, I'm going to quit. You still continue working on your website. You continue modifying your pages. And as you finish pages, advertise those finished pages. It will, number one, get traffic to your website. Number two, encourage you to continue working in your website because traffic's coming to it. And if you don't think people's looking at your website, go back into the places that you're advertising from. And like I said, go to where it says your stuff or your ads, and you can see how many times your ads are getting clicked. If you have one click, that means somebody came to your website. If they came once, they'll come again. So advertise that one page and then go and do another page. If you want to, and this is what I did, I took one weekend and went through, or one day basically on a weekend, and I went through my whole website and changed every link to mine. I registered for every program that we had, because that's what Debbie told me to do. She said, I need you to sign up for this and this and this. And, at the time the money was there. I was still working. So I was like, okay, fine. I had all my links. Some of you are not in the position to where you can sign up for the paid marketing or the paid companies that we have. That's fine. just create those pages or modify those pages, but you still have access to CJ, you still have access to ClickBank, you still have access to Brunette Marketing, you still have access to all those free programs for your Bitcoin, your computer, your Excel trip, your Sephora, your tipping circle, all those free programs you still have access to. So go through your website, and if you don't have from CJ, some of those programs in CJ, it takes a while to get approval for. If you don't have a link that works in it, take the links that are there out and modify your content. And then that way, when you get the link, all you got to do is link a word or phrase here or there. So don't let, go ahead.
When you're saying linking, is that in your classified ads or is that on your page?
That's on your page.
Okay.
So let's go to my page, for instance. And I'm just going to pick a page at random. So I'm just going to go back here to where I have all pages. And like this one, the Eat for McDonald's, you see right here, I don't have anything here because I've never done anything to this page. It's still published. I never did anything. I think I might have modified it a little bit. So let's go here and click on it and say, this is a page I want to come to, and it's more for statistics. But you see, it's got links in it. I know for a fact that we don't use this company anymore. And I'm not sure what I can put here, but I know I can put I have Nutrisystem, I have Beachbody program for workout. I have, your Valentis products you can put here, but say I didn't have any of that stuff. So I'm in the edit phase. So I could come through here and just say, okay, I'm taking out this link. I'm breaking this link. No more, because I know we don't have this. I don't have access to a company. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to come here and let's take this out. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to remove this link. Come down here. Is there another link? Is this picture linked? So let's go and see if this picture is linked. If it is, come on. So if this picture's linked, so yes, see there's a link here, but I'm just going to come here and hit none, take that link out, hit update. So I'm just going to go in and remove all my links in here just to make sure. So this is how you would go into a page that you don't have access to anything to link it to. And just come to your queue and hit none. That way there's no link there. And then you're going to go through that. Here's another one. Just remove the link. I'm breaking the link. Just going to highlight it.
So this is what you did first, is just unlinked everything?
Yep. If I didn't have a link to it, first off, I went, and this is where you can go to your performance blogging, your RRR247.com/RR247. And I went through, and when I started, we didn't have this. We had to get it straight from our instructor. That's when I created my student sheet. So if you're my student, you should have this student sheet right here. It's got referral links on it, and it has all the links that you should be signing up for. That's free. The free programs. It also has the wine programs and the coffee programs and all your weekly training. So I just went through and signed up the ones that Debbie gave me. And then what I did was I went to my website, and I came to the Trent, and she's like, go to ClickBank. So I went to ClickBank and registered for ClickBank. I went to Brunette Marketing and registered for Brunette Marketing. I went to CJ and registered for CJ. And then went through all the different companies to see, especially on CJ. On Brunette and ClickBank, you don't have to do it. But for CJ, if they were looking for a clothing company, then I went and hit clothing and registered for all the clothing companies I could. The ones I got approval for, those are the ones I put in my clothing. Same thing with the candy. I went to candy or cooking and food, or whichever the category is. And anything there, I just clicked on everything to get approval to work with them. The ones that came back and said yes, those are the ones I put my links in. If I didn't get anything that compared or that I could use in my article, then I just took the link out. So it was just like, okay, I don't have a link for that. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to take it out, and I'll come back and do it later. And then that way I knew that if I was advertising a page, then every link in that article or in my website was mine, or it didn't have a link at all. So I didn't worry about somebody clicking on Rory's link because I already knew. I went through and took out all the links that I could or replaced them with something that I knew was mine. And then I came back and literally in about a weekend, I came back and modified my pages. And it took me, like I said, I redid my whole website twice because the first time it was just too dry from beginning to the end. The second time it was more me. But the first thing I did was just changed all of my links. I didn't worry about modifying my pages at the time. I just changed all my links. And then I started from my wine pages. At the time, we didn't have coffee pages. We just had the wine. And then I went to my ClickBank and my brunette marketing and just went down the line and modified my pages that way. And then that way, when I started advertising a page, I didn't have to worry about somebody clicking on something that was mine or wasn't mine. So, you know, if that's what you feel comfortable with, if that's what's holding anybody back from advertising is, well, I don't have all my links, then just go in and change all your links. Go to your CJ, go to your brunette marketing, go to your ClickBank and find something that's relevant to that page and put your link in there. That doesn't mean you have to stick with that link. That just means that if anybody reads that article before you've modified it, at least the link that's in that article is yours. If you can't find anything that's there, then take the link completely out and just have the article there. And then when you come to modify the article or modify your page, then you can come back and find your link. It's all about content with Google. Links are second. So you can advertise a page without a link. I did it several times. There's several pages I've put out on social media on my free ad sites just because I wanted my story to get out there or I wanted the information to get out there. And I put a link in it later. That's totally an option. So don't hold off advertising your pages because your website's not finished. That should just give you motivation to go back and do that. If it's just a matter of sitting down one weekend or a couple of days or a couple of weekends, you know, and just going through and changing all your links, then that's what you do. Then come back and do your modifications a page at a time based on how we do our training. Your wine pages, your coffee pages, and then your anchor, your number two group 2 information. But if you come to your RR247 training page, it has your group 1. That's what you register with. Your group 2, those of you that are my students, you should have this information. If you don't, please Skype me and let me know. Say, hey, I don't have that sheet. I'll get it for you. But you have pages in your website for all of these, and all of these are free except for 7, 8, and 9. Those are your, or 7 and 8. 7 is your anchor 1, which is wine. 2 is your Valentis. 3 right now is we're working on is the tipping circle. So you know, get with your instructor if you don't have one and just say, hey, what are, you know, where do I need to go? What is my references for my anchor 2? Because you do need a reference for your group 2 companies. And just go through and do those. If you don't know for sure, ask your instructor, say, hey, I need a sitemap. The sitemap will tell you a list of all of your pages in your web system and what link you should be putting in them or where you should be going to get the links. And then just go from there. Just pull up your website, go to your dashboard and go to all pages and start from there. If you need to start from page, you know, your first one, then start from there and just say, okay, do I have a link to go in here? No, I don't. Take out the links. Go to your second page. Do I have a link to go in this? Oh, yes, I do. Change out your link. And then once you get all your links done, then go back and follow the process. Start with your wine pages, then go to your Valentis pages, then go to your tipping circle pages. If you don't have a tipping circle, go to 1f16.com or At Home with Tanya and pull up tipping circle or pull up the Giving Network. And copy their page and put it on yours and modify it and then put your tipping circle in. Everybody should have a tipping circle link that's in RR247. It's a free link. You should get it from your instructor and sign up for that and then use that in there. And then just start creating your pages or modifying your pages. And once you get it done, advertise it, create your template, put your link in there, and your template should be growing as you create new pages, and modify it because you want that traffic coming in. And once you're paid, by the time you get finished your whole page, you should have enough traffic that you should be generating some type of revenue.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, a lot better.
Okay. Yeah, because we, like I said, when I started, we didn't have the flow. We didn't have the processes that we have now. It was more or less fly by the seat of your pants. You get with your instructor and you kind of hashed it out and figured out what worked best for you. So now Roy has developed this system that pretty much works for everybody if you follow the system. Like he always says, anybody that listens to him on Tuesday nights or any night that he's training, you know, it's the system, not a suggestion. The system works if you work the system. It's not going to work if you just say, okay, I've done one, I've advertised it, now I'm going to sit back and see what's going to happen. Your website is a work in progress. It's going to be complete of what you originally started, but it should never be finished, because you should always be writing stuff. You should always be freshening up your pages. You should always be modifying things that are in there based on the trend or how you've developed personally as you go through your website. Like I said, this is a page I touched. I didn't do a lot with it. I put a link in there for something. I don't even remember what it was, but I don't do McDonald's. I go to there for my grandkids and, you know, and go, oh, why are you eating that? But I'm gonna get it for you anyway. So, you know, but you know, it's just single, you know, things like
Sheila,
that.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Go ahead. Where'd you go?
Yeah, okay, maybe you said it already. Who? This is Constance.
Yes. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. You said, where'd you go? I was like, I don't know, but you know, thought I was here. But with Coronas, who knows? You know, I might be delusional. Maybe that wasn't funny, but I'm, you know, trying to laugh a little more than cry. You've got the McDonald's where you're talking about it. Why did I think that we're not allowed to have brand names? Am I crazy
No,
or?
you can. The only thing is, like, McDonald's is a cultural icon. So you can use it as advertising. You can use it in the title. You don't own McDonald's, but like some of the companies that we advertise for, they will tell you straight out, can't use your name, their name in the branding, in your titles, because they have the trademark on that. McDonald's is not, because McDonald's is a public company. So you can say McDonald's. You can actually say Valentis. The one thing you don't want to do is, if you're marketing for that company, you don't want to have the title of that or the name of that company in your title. Simple fact being is, they'll read the title and there's like, what is Valentis? And the next thing you know, they're researching Valentis on
Gotcha.
Google. And then they like what they read because they went straight to Valentis website and they read what they, you know, read it. Oh, I like this company. They've already left your website. They've already left your ad because now they're researching Valentis, and they like what they read. And next thing you know, they're signing up, and you've lost that whole sale because you had the title, the name in your title or in your ad. So if it's not a product you're marketing and it's a public company, then yes, use their name. But if it's a company that you're marketing for, never use their name in your title or in your ad. Now, you can use it all day in your actual page, because that's what you want. They're in your page and they can click on that name and go straight to where you want them to go. But if it's in your ad, they can research from your ad and never go to your website. And then you've lost a potential sale or potential customer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I just was like, why is she saying McDonald's?
Yeah, and this is one of
And
Roy's
she's saying bad things too.
Yeah,
like, oh my God.
I go there for my grandkids because, you know, McDonald's is popular with kids, but I just cannot handle their food. Ugh. Ugh. It's just give me Popeyes or Cookout or, you know, but, yeah, no. Yeah, so, but that's how you can go in and get your pages modified quicker, or should I say, not have to worry about advertising. Because by you doing that and taking the time to go in and at least getting your links updated, then once you start advertising, you don't have to worry about or be afraid, oh, I didn't finish that page, there's still Rory's link in there, or there's still somebody else's link in there. You don't have to worry about that. You can have confidence that no matter what page they go to, they're either going to find a clean page, what I call clean page, which means there's no links in it, or they're going to find a page that has not been modified, but at least the links are there, so that if they like what they read and they click it, it's going to go to you. You're still going to modify that page, because we advertise the link. We don't advertise for the advertiser. So if you go in and modify your page, and it's a page you haven't advertised, and you happen to change the link on it, it's not going to affect anything, because they just happened to stumble on it while they were perusing through your website from another ad that you've already done. So if they stumble across one that you haven't touched yet, and you decide to go in and change the link, it's not going to affect anything. So don't worry about that. Just go ahead and finish a page. You like it. Hey, this is great. I'm proud of this page. Do your template and modify it. Do your template and advertise it. Go to the different ad sites. Go to the different free programs. Go to your social media and advertise those pages, that you've done. And then you want to do that about 2 or 3 times a week. I've finished this page, I'm gonna go ahead and advertise it. Create your template. And I promise you, by the time you get to your end of your website, and don't just create or modify the pages that's there. If you have an idea of a page that you want to write that page. It doesn't matter if you have a link to it or not. Miss Constance, I read a couple of hers this week. They're wonderful. And yeah, I'm going to single you out. I told you I would.
But you know what? Also remember you suggested I made that stupid root soup from malanga root, and
Yeah.
but you said write about it. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was wonderful. And she wrote about her experience. And like I told her, the only thing is she had the video of the lady actually preparing the soup. And the only thing she needed in her page was she needed to physically write the steps down for the making of the soup. So that's the only thing. But her page was wonderful. It was informative. It was entertaining. And I said, put the recipe in there, advertise it. Because she can advertise it in so many different places. Same thing with her other. She's got one that warm hugs. And the whole time I was thinking about that, I said, you need to put the and after I got off, I was going to send it to you. You need to find that Frozen clip where Olaf is saying, oh, I love warm hugs, and put that on there from Frozen.
Olaf. Who's Olaf?
Well, you got to watch the movie Frozen. It's a Disney movie, Frozen. He's a snowman, and that's the first thing he says is, I love warm hugs,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And so things like that. But yeah, don't hesitate advertising those pages, because like I said, you have a wonderful store. It's beautiful. Everyone has it. It is unique to you, but no one knows where your store is. No one knows what your store has. Even though you have everything that everybody wants or can need, they don't know it exists yet. So you have to let them know. That's where your advertising comes from. And don't just advertise once. I advertise mine every day. Granted, it might not be 100 times a day, because sometimes I don't have it. I might go out there and only can do 5 ads that day. But that's 5 ads I put out there that somebody's going to look at. So don't just automatically assume just because you got 1 or 10 or 200 or 2,000 ads out there that you've done, you've accomplished something. You have to advertise your site every day. And some of the ad sites, your ad's only good for 30 days. So you have to be in there constantly, and not only creating new ads, but updating and refreshing the ones that you have out there. So like I said, this is your own business, and it is a business. If you're treating it as a hobby and just like, oh, I'll come to it when I get a chance, let me go check on that, then don't be surprised if you have very minimal success or none. If you treat it like a business and work it like a business, like you do on your job every day, it's like, okay, this is things I have to get done for my job. Guess what? This isn't a job. It should be your lifestyle. It should be your livelihood, because eventually this should be your only means of income if you work it right. You should be able to walk away from your job and have the money to sustain you from your website. That should be your ultimate goal. So if you're treating it as a hobby or just as a happenstance, then that's exactly what it's going to give you. But if you put the time in it that you do with your regular job, because I promise you, there was days I came home, I still had to cook for because I cook for my husband. I still had a house to clean. I still had laundry to do. I still had everything else to do. My house would be quiet. It'd be 12 o'clock. I would get up at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready for my job. I would at least work on a couple pages. The weekend, I didn't get out of my pajamas. I'm working on my website. I'm getting this thing done. Um, so, I put in as many hours on this as I did my job until it was like, okay, I'm had enough. I'm done. I got Google AdSense. I talked to my husband. He's like, whatever. Okay, yeah, you good. You know, so that's what you need to do. You got to change your mindset, and say, this is going to be my future. This is my future. I'm going to be relying on this, not only for me, but for my future generations. I want to pass this down to my children, say, here, if anything happens to me, keep it running. Here's how it goes. My grandchildren, hey, you want to go to college? Guess what? Mama's already got your money set up. It's ready to go. It's there, whatever. So think of it that way. Don't think of it as, man, I got to get to that thing today. I got to do this. If you view it to where it's disgruntling to you, then you have to reconsider, is this really what I want? Is this really something deep in my heart that I know I can be proud of? So look at it that way. You really have to dig deep, because this website, when it's all said and done, is going to be you on paper, basically. Not really paper, but on the internet, because you're going to be putting your heart and soul in those pages that you create. They're going to be your words. They're going to be your feelings, your views. No matter what the article is or what the product you're selling, the words are going to be yours. People are going to come to know you from your articles. They're going to come to know you from your pages, from your blogging that you're doing. If you notice, I don't say, come visit my website. I tell people, visit my blog, because the minute you say blog, there's like, oh, this is somebody's opinion. This is their view. When you say website, they're like, oh, somebody's selling me something. So you have to be able to distinguish. If you're marketing for business, then you say, come visit my website. If you're marketing to the masses of people, public opinion, you say blog, visit my blog, see what I have to say about this. This is my opinion on something. This is new, up and trending. If you're selling, or want to marketing to business professionals, especially on LinkedIn, you say, I've created a website. Oh, I have a website. Visit my website. Use the word website, because then they know it's a professional layout of a business that you are projecting or wanting them to see. So that's the difference in using those terminologies. Clothing, you're marketing your clothing to the general public. So you say, hey, I got this great clothing manufacturer that caters to all sizes of women, caters to men, caters to children, whatever. Visit my blog to get more information, or see if they have your style, or find your style, or things like that. That's where you use the word blog. If you're marketing a business for your wine, like what I did with LinkedIn to the real estate, hey, how are you working your real estate clientele? What are you rewarding them with? Visit my website to find details or find information on gift giving ideas for your clients. So your demeanor on how you perceive that carries over in your advertising. So just remember, when you're working your website, think of those things. Does this website represent me? And when you come to a page that you have no idea of, most of the people that of you are on this training call, I don't drink. I've never drank, never had the inclination to, but I'm one of the biggest, wine contributors. I'm in the wine club. I have customers, I have students that do the wine, but I still don't drink. I've won trips with the wine club, but I don't partake of it. So my pages, when you read them, talk about recipes. They talk about the processes of how wine's made. They talk about the aspects of wine. It never talks about how wine tastes, the flavor. any of that because I can't tell them. I can't be realistic about that. But I can tell them why wine smells the way it does. I can tell them about, the grape that's used. I can tell them, the technical side of it because I do the research for it. Some people like that. People's going to like wine based on their own personal preferences, but what they might also would like to know is why they like that particular kind of wine. So that's why I said always come at it from a point of view of yourself, not anybody else's. Nobody's going to write like Rory. Nobody's going to write like Paul. Nobody's going to write like me. Write the way you write. As you become more confident in your writing abilities and in your own talents, you'll be able to see it when you're creating pages and modifying pages. It comes real easy. So don't be disgruntled if, yeah, I make it look easy, but I've been doing this for 2 years. I did it way before I even got into blogging. This was my profession, was writing. So I'm used to writing. It comes naturally to me, but it doesn't always come naturally to everybody. You just have to build up your confidence, and do this every day. If it's nothing but going in and changing a couple of paragraphs a day, just make sure you're in your website every day doing something, becoming familiar with it, so that it becomes, a part of you. If you're still looking at it as your only way to make money, yes, that's part of it, but it should also be a joy for you to come in here and say, okay, I'm going to create another page today, or I got this great idea. I need to put it down. I need to write it. I need to let people know that this is happening. I need to let people know I have this for them. This is your outlet basically to the world. So if you treat it that way, get those pages out there and get them modified, get them advertised, let people know where you are. It will work for you. So that's my soapbox. All right, no problem. Y'all have a good one, those that have to leave. Yeah, we're running just about on time. So, but that's how you go in. And I want to show you my very first template, how it looked. And when I say it's awful, this is my first template. Look, it just really, it's like have no clue. There was no rhyme or reason, no categories. I was just basically copying stuff straight from my pages. This is where I finally started getting the hang of things. And if anybody reads, some of this is straight from my first paragraph on my pages. My first Bitcoin page, I copied it straight from my Bitcoin, and I advertised it that way. So this is my first template. Now, look at that, just copied straight from my website. No,
You put that whole paragraph.
I put the whole thing when I went and posted it on an ad. I sure did. I mean, look at that. That's the whole paragraph, really. But I copied my first paragraph in my article, and that's what I used for my template. So, and I still get hits from this ad because it's still out there. All I do is refresh it every week, or every month it gets refreshed. But let's see if my Bitcoin, let me get to my Bitcoin. Y'all think I'm kidding, but yeah, look at this. This is straight from my website. I've just picked a paragraph and copied it. Picture and all. So let's see, where's that one? So yeah, y'all think I'm kidding. Look, here it is again, straight from my thing. Look here, you see it's still in blue, so I copied it from somewhere. Yeah, straight
So
from
how did you figure not to do it that way?
learning. Like, see right here, I'm sure every one of y'all have this paragraph in your website. If you got a Bitcoin page, I copied it straight from my website. And guess what? It went straight to my template and it went straight to my advertising. I copied it. Some of the ads wouldn't copy the picture. That's fine. It still got all of this. And then at the end of it, this is exactly what I put. I didn't change anything. I copied it just like you see it. Look right here. Same thing. This one, copied it. And most of it's blank because the pictures didn't come over in a Word document. It got put out there. So, and like
Wow.
this one, so yeah, but now if you look at my current one, it's completely different. you know, so now it's more organized. Um, and you learn as you go, you know, watching Rory and Paul, you learn to organize. You learn how to create and mod and have things at your disposal, so that you can, you know, go. This one, I still have the Bitcoin. It's still basically the same thing, but it's a little bit more concise. Um, so, but yeah, you can see how I've matured over the couple of years, and just documented things a little bit better. So now if I say, okay, I'm going to do stuff on healthy foods, there's my category, healthy food alternatives. So there's my description. So now same thing with wine lovers, you know, or wine. Here's all of my wine. Here's all of my wine links, you know, or majority of them. And then same thing with my clothing, you know, plus size clothing. So yeah, so you mature as you go through your business and go through your website. You mature and you learn things, and it makes it easier. But do I still use that? Yeah, that's why it's up, because I still use this because it has my links in it. It still is valid links. It still has pages to my website. And yes, I'll come through, you know, and pull up some of these old ones and going, oh my God, what was I thinking? You know? so so but there's still good, you know, some good sentences in there. There's still some good information in there. So when I go and copy it, I do tweak it right then and there, and then I'll come back and put it on my current one. But I never get rid of this because it was my first, and I use it as training tools. You know, hey, you don't know how to do it, go copy the first paragraph in your website, you know, on that page, or go find a paragraph in that page that you like that represents your page, and use that as your template. You know, as you grow and learn, those are the first basis of how you will get what you need to get. So there's no, you know, wrong way to do an ad. There's no wrong way to create a template. It's just as you grow and mature in building your business, you learn things along the way. That's why Paul's training, I still go to Paul's training, and they'll see me on there. And I've had people, you know, private message me, why are you still here? You train too? Because you pick up things that, you know, you might not think, because we all think differently. And Paul has a unique way of doing things, and it's like there's times on there he'll say something. I was like, God, I didn't think of it that way, you know. And same thing with him, you know, he'll ask me questions. Sheila, some of y'all that's been on there, he'll see I'm on there, and he'll ask me, Sheila, do you have any ideas, or blah blah blah. We feed off of each other. So don't ever think that you've gotten so big that you don't need to learn anything. You still need to learn, because not everybody does everything or thinks the same way. We all do our PBS the same way, but every page is unique because we're all different. So
You know what? You know what, Sheila? I'm noticing this program that this page PBS is changing all the time.
yeah.
From when I first started, it's been a little over a year ago. But when I first started, none of this was available.
Mm-hmm.
And so even now, things are changing like weekly.
Yep, it is. That's why I said when I first got in, and some of y'all have heard Rory talk. When I first got in, there was none of this training. We had
Right.
the blogging for cash videos, and that was it.
Right.
You know, and then Paul started doing some training, you know, classes. But Tuesday and Wednesday night was it. That was it. And then Roy started doing the Saturday training, for people to come in to learn how to work your PBS. When Natasha was here, we actually had a whole class for that. And when we went to Napa, those of us that went on the trip, this is where all this came from, because he had us sitting down, and me and Paul and Debbie and Kathleen and um, uh, several others of us there's about 14 or 15 of us that was there, and he's like, okay, we need to simplify this. We need to get everybody on one page. And we all sat there. We had a whole weekend. It was 4 days that we had a paid vacation, basically, from our wine company, that we won to go there. And when we weren't viewing or tasting wines or visiting a vineyard, we were brainstorming in Rory's room. literally, I mean, to 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3, to make sure that everybody had this. So this is where this came from. And you're right, it's constantly changing and updating for the better so that we can simplify it and get it to where everybody is comfortable learning their own skin.
And somebody else may have a different idea
Exactly.
or different way of doing it.
Exactly. And that's why whenever we have these trips that we win and things that we go to, those of us that are there that are MSIs, that's what Rory will do. He will pull us off to the side and say, all right, where do we have a problem? What do you see with your students that's an issue? How can we resolve it? So even though we're there for pleasure and leisure, we still do business because we want everybody to be on those trips with us. We want everybody to be able to go and enjoy themselves and enjoy the fruits of their labor, you know, because once you get your website to where it's basically running on its own, I had a free Monday. I've never had a free Monday. And I don't know how it happened, but I didn't have any training. And my grandkids was there because, you know, we have no school now. So they're there 24/7, it seems like. And it was just a day for us. And I was like, you know what? I got some pages I need to write because I get an idea and I'll write the idea down as a title and I'll put it in draft to come back later. I did 3 pages on Monday, just cranking out, you know, and I was like, man, I got something done. So, but I'm proud of my website. You know, they use it all the time. And I tell people all the time, you can go to my website, see something that might trigger an idea, you know, or maybe a page that you thought you wanted to write and you don't know how to get started. My website is open for anybody to go and look at. And there's going to be some things in there you're going to look and say, man, my page is just like that. Yeah, it is, because, you know, I probably hadn't had time to go back and fix it the way I want to. But most of the time it's just like, you know, go there, see what you like, and get an idea. But I'm proud of my website. I tell everybody my website. And that's the other thing I said, those that weren't here last week, is you want to make your website unique. I see so many websites with the same name, you know, find, what is it, opportunities or something, you know. My website's totally different. I don't have any of that on my website. My website talks about nothing. The title has nothing to do with online anything. It just says Shot with Mama Chief, you know, because that's who I am. That's who everybody knows me as. So think about that too when you're creating your pages and your website. You can always come back and change the name of your website once you get more familiar with yourself, with your website, and you finally find a pattern that your website's following. That's you. And then you can distinguish your website from everybody else. Um, so, but I always knew this was going to be my website. It was always there. It was just the name that everybody knows me as Mama Chief because my husband's called Big Chief. So everybody, there's Mama Chief. So I was like, you know what? Everybody that knows me knows Mama Chief. So when they ask me that, I tell them, you know, they say, well, what do you do? Oh, I have a blog page. What's it called? I can't tell them a page name, you know, oh, go to blah, 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 blah for, you know, my wine business page. No, they're asking me, what's your website? What's your blog site? So I tell them, Shop with Mama Chief. And they can go online and Google Shop with Mama Chief. But if I tell them, you know, incredible finds online, you know, and they'll go and Google incredible finds online, and there's going to be 100,000 different incredible finds online. And there's like, I couldn't find yours. Where was it at? Because it's too generic, you know. But if they go and type in Shop with Mama Chief, there's only 2,800 people using Mama Chief on that. So guess what? My name's on the first page.
Hey, Sheila, so is
Yes.
that how we go to your website? Is just type in Shop with Mama Chief to go to your website and look?
If you don't know my URL, which is 5e95.com, you can just go to Shop with Mama Chief and mine will pull up, and it should say 5e95.com underneath it. And I can pull it up right now. And it's all one word. And look, it has Shop with Mama Chief. All these are mine. There's my website right here, 5e95. And this is just for me. And look, there's 1,600 results with Mama Chief in it. And the first the first page is mine. Every one of these are mine except for that one. That's where it stops. That's mine. My Pinterest pin. That one's mine. That one's not mine. That one's not mine because that's somebody else's. But the last 2, 3 are not mine. But everything else on here is mine. This is page 1. And then like images. You want to see images with Mama Chief? Okay, so let's go up here and click on images. Look at there. There's every image that's in my website, whether it's got my link on it or not. And guess what? All they have to do, and see, that's the old one. It's still got direct sellers. But if they come here, this is going to take them to my Google page, my Google business. And you can get, if you have Google, you can set up a Google business page. And there's my articles. And all they have to do is click right here where it says get offer. And guess where that offer takes them? Straight to my website. So there's so
Okay,
many.
so how do you get Google page? Google ad page.
Type in Google ad page. That's all you have to do is set up an account with Google. Once you get there, you can actually go in and create a Google shop. I wouldn't suggest you do that until you get Google AdSense though.
Right. Well, I lost my Google phone number. I handed it out to a bunch of people, told them to call me on that instead of my regular number, and they didn't do it. So I ended up losing that number. I'm going to try to get that same number back because I have put it in my web pages. The ones
They
I've
won't give
added
it
my
to you
number
back.
on.
If they've taken away, they've already reassigned it. So you just need to get you a new one and update it. And like I said, if it's if you have a Google number, if it's nothing but calling yourself on that number once a week to stay active, that's what you need to do. Or sending a text. Because if they've taken it and reassigned it, you can't get it back. So, but yeah, so all these different things, if they click on it, one of my pictures is going to be there. And all of my pictures like this takes them to my Facebook. This one right here, if they click on that, takes them to my website. So anything that has my website name up underneath it takes them to my website. This one right here takes them to my Google business, which once they click on my Google business, it takes them to my website. So everything reverts back to my website no matter how I've advertised it. That one's not me, that's somebody else. But here's another one. You see it's got my website name up under there. This is my Facebook. You know, here's my Google business. Here's my Facebook again. Here's my classifieds for free. So even classifieds for free has it up there. That one's not mine. But anything that's mine, see, that's something that me and the kids did a long time ago, but it's still Shot with Mama Chief. You know, it's one of my moments in time. But they can go there and read all my Facebook posts that's related to my wine or related to my business. So like I said, there's just so many different ways that you can advertise your website, but you need to make sure, again, like I said, your name is unique. That it's not, because if you go with Online Amazing Finds, let me show you how many is on there. And there's a bunch of people that have that on there. Look how many results you got. 215 million. That shows up somewhere. And that's just too much competition for me. So get your website done. You know, as you're creating it, think about how you want your website to be represented. How does it represent you? And put that in there. And there's several ads. Those of you that when you go to your RRR247, you're like, well, I don't know where to put an ad. Go right here to where it says free traffic sites. You all have access to this RRR247 training. At the top of it, it all has these same category links. If you're not sure how to use something, you have your performance blogging right here that tells you, has some great videos and information on your performance blogging. Then you have your free traffic sites. If you click on that, there's a whole list of different traffic sites that you could go to. This one right here is still a little wonky, so I wouldn't mess with it if you can, but if you can get in it, it's a great place to advertise. Just know that they've changed some parameters, so you might get some spam stuff that comes through there. So just be careful using that one. They do have a business ad site that you can go to that's fairly clean, and it actually markets to the business side of it. So either one of those. Some of these are no longer existing. Like this one, the AJC is just for Atlanta, Georgia. It doesn't post anywhere else. Like this buy sell community, you actually have to put a price in. It has to be an ad that's selling. So you have to gear your template and your ad towards that. The US Net Ads is a great place to market because you have all these different parent umbrella companies that's under this US Net Ads that you can use to market with. And if you have access to CJ, they have great companies in there that are specific to UK, um, and you have Australia, Canada. So these are different places that you can advertise. So just make sure that when you're advertising in these different countries that the products you're advertising can actually be sent there. So just read the different companies that's here. Ocala, Florida, only just like AJC, only in Ocala, Florida. That's the only place this advertises to. Some of them have changed a little bit. Some of them are no longer there. So when you go in, just read the information that's there. But all of these are companies that eBay is a great place to advertise if you have an eBay account. And then you have all these lists right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these are different other ad sites that you can register for. And there's a group of ad sites within this that you can advertise to. So here's some more, and just about every one of them are free. Some of these, like AbleWise, is no longer there. Somebody bought them out. So those aren't there anymore. Gumtree, I think, is still there. I haven't been on it for a while. And then these are the paid ones. So once you get to marketing, like this one, don't even apply to this one unless you have your website completely modified. Because if you don't, they will kick you out and you don't get your money back. I think it's like $9.20 or $9.50 or $10 or something. It used to be. I don't know what it is now, but yeah, they will submit your website or your link to all these different other marketing groups. But if they find your website is a duplicate, they'll kick it out. So make sure that if you are paying for a marketing site or a web advertising company, that your website's 100% complete. And you have modified it as much as possible. We used to say, you know, 60 to 80%. I tell everybody now, if you can do it 100%, by all means do it. If you can only do it 80%, then fine. The parts that you don't modify, at least change them around in the page. Don't leave them in the same place. That actually looks like it's different to Google, even though it's the same. By you moving it up or down in the location in your page makes it different. That don't mean you go through and change every paragraph in a different location and say you've modified it. That don't work. You actually need to change the content as much as possible. Yes, classifieds for free is working, but again, you have to go through a lot to get there, and it has a lot of malware and spam that comes along with it because he took down some of his security protocols to allow certain companies to market with him, and it can cause a bear with your programming, with your firewall. So if you don't have to use it, don't use one of the other ones. But if you've got ads on there, because I got thousands of ads on there, so I actually have one of my other computers that I go in there and look at it that I don't use, that I already know is full just about. So that's where I go in and check those and just keep them up and running, but I don't advertise new stuff on there. I use the business for free information. So
Yeah, I haven't been using it. I just thought when you mentioned it, maybe it had improved.
yeah, no, it's there. You just have to go through because it pulls up that doc. You don't need to download that doc. You don't need to do that extension. So you have to go in and out about 5 or 6 times before it actually pulls up the website where you can go in and at least update your links that or your things that are there. But it's full. Yeah, you're gonna have a very graphic sexual content on there now. So
Okay. I
so
can
yeah.
avoid that.
Yeah, so it's still there, but it's not as secure as it was. They do have the business for free that's with that company that's still intact. And that one's a good one. I still use that one. So if you go to that one, it's the same way the other that the classified, it's the business ads for free. And you just log in. You just need to change your information. And it's the same way. I can go here, post an ad. And this one, it actually encourages you to post in different places the same ad. So this one's going to the United States. I'm just going to pull up my Google Doc, and I'm going to do, let's do easy meals. So I'm going to do Southern Comfort Foods. No, messed that one up. Copy. I'm going to go here and I'll put in a headline. And because this one actually is a business site, it actually does have the category affiliate marketing. So any of our programs are affiliate marketers, so you can advertise to that. It does have business opportunities. So this one is a little bit more geared towards the business side, but it also has all the other options in it as well. So I'm going to go here through where do I want to put this one? We're just going to do basic general merchandise. Contact phone number, I'm still going to do my Google Voice. And that's all. And then I'm not going to put a price. It doesn't require a price. I'm going to go to my ad. I'm going to copy my description. And see, this one I only have one. I'll go back and add some more. So I'm going to come here and then I'm going to actually get my link and post my link in my description. You have to be careful though, because some of the ad companies, they charge you to post your link in your description. So just be careful. If you go to post your ad and it has a charge on there, that's usually why. You have your link in your description and they don't want you to. So then again, I'm going to come here to my gallery and I already have images in here. I think I've already uploaded some. Did I do one for food? I don't think I did one for food. Dang it. That's all right. I got plenty. So I'm going to go here and what am I going to put in here? Did I do one for food? I'm just going to do this one. This one has nothing related to food, but it is one of my programs. And let's do another one. Might just throw the free TV in there. And then I'm going to go back up and I'm just going to post my ad. And then there's my ads or my pictures. Okay. And then I'm just going to go back in here, post another ad, yes, and then I'll just start from the beginning, go to Alabama, come down, don't change anything, post my ad. And then do the same thing, it's posted in Alabama, go back up, click post another ad, don't change anything. I know that one went to Alabama and just go to Alaska. And I know the companies that's in this program or in my links ship to the United States, so I'm not worried about that. I don't have to worry about it not shipping anywhere. So I know it doesn't go outside the United States, so there's no need for me to click on that one. So I'm going to go to Arizona next, and that's all you do is just click through each one and just go through each state. And then what you can do later is you click another ad and say, I'm going to go to California next. And this is why this one's so user friendly. So then I come back here and say I was already in California. So I'm gonna go back to California and then I'm gonna start posting to the individual cities. So maybe go to Anaheim and post. So when I say some days I do 200 and 300 ads a day, you can spend 2 hours on here and post 300 to 400 ads in a day if you have your template. If you got to sit through here and try to figure out what you're going to write every time, then no, you won't be able to do it. But if you have your template, then all you got to do is pull up your template and there you go, copy and paste, copy and paste. So those of you that came in with your link posting and you're like, well, he just said I had to copy and paste. Yeah, but you do have some work you have to do. If you have your website, your work is creating your pages for your website so you can get your link. If you're just doing link posting, then your work is, number one, getting approval to the company so that you can market with them. And number two, you have to create that template. So you can copy and paste your ad, copy and paste your link, and present your ad. It's not a get-rich-quick thing. It's not going to happen that way. It does require some work. And if you're only doing an hour or two a day initially, you're not going to get where you want to go. After you've been in it for 7, 8, 9 months and you've gotten your name established, you've gotten your ads out there, then you should start seeing something happening. If you have just links out there, it's going to be a little bit harder to monitor that. But if you have your website, you can see your click ratio going up because number one, you'll be moving up in the pages on Google. So that's all I have for today. Yeah, if my voice is dragging, it's because I'm losing internet. Like I said, my father-in-law has the slowest cable internet of anywhere, and we're in a very rural area. So I'm sorry. So I'm sorry for the connection. But that's all I have for today. I hope it helped as far as getting, your templates together, creating your ads, and how to use your website. Again, you can't have a store in the middle of nowhere and expect to generate revenue. So basically, Google is our middle of nowhere, and we're trying to get people to know where we are in that area. So your advertising is what's going to get that. So create your pages or modify your pages. If you're happy with them, then start advertising it. And then every page after that you want to get people to notice, especially if you're in the anchor offers, which are the paid offers, then most definitely you need to get those pages out there, get them advertised as much as possible, as many times as possible, so that you can get people to recognize your company or your store, which is your website. And get that traffic generated in there, get your name put out there so that they know where to come when they want what they need. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to unmute everybody, and we got a couple minutes for a few questions, and then I got to get my daughter over to my mom's. So any question on what we went over so far? Okay.
I don't
All
have
right.
any, but when I start doing it, I probably will.
All right. No problem. Like I said, and then next week, like I said, I have about 4 or 5 students who volunteered their website. So I'll be choosing one of those and a page that we all have and show you how to modify it from at least the beginning to at least halfway, depending on our time, and go from there so that everybody can know and see the different ways that you can modify a page. Okay. All right, so that's going to conclude our class today.
Hey,
And yes, you're welcome. So as soon as it gets uploaded, I will put it on my YouTube.
all right, thank you. That was my question.
Thank you, Sheila.
Yeah, you're
Thank you,
very
Sheila.
welcome. All
Thank
right,
you.
y'all have a
Looks
blessed
like-
day, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Sheila, will we see you tomorrow?
Let me, as soon as I get back home, I'm not in town currently, so as soon as I get back home, I'll shoot you a message.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, talk to you
Thank
later.
you.
All right, bye-bye.
Hearing you echo there, Sheila.
I know.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I was late getting in.
Oh, no, sorry, as long as you made it.
Yeah, I did. I had a grandson here, birthday party.
Oh, yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.